what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Aloha Friday podcast. Um, I'm really excited for this one. A couple things we're going to talk about today, obviously, and just kind of dive into some really cool things to discuss. One, I just currently finished a video for you guys out there. And this one's actually going to be kind of cool. It basically helps give consumers an idea of what to expect if they want to port out from Sprint postpaid or Boost Mobile, because that is the company that's very notorious for trying to get your account number so you can actually port your number to a different provider. Most of the carriers either have your account number on your bill already, or they'll just give it to you when you call in with no questions asked. But Sprint and Boost Mobile, because Sprint has good lawyers, I'll be honest with you guys, Sprint has good lawyers. They know what they can and cannot do and can stay within the boundaries to prevent a lawsuit. So they have a retention plan put together to try and retain customers and to keep a low churn rate. So that video is going to be live later on today. Be on the lookout for that on the YouTube channel. So first thing I kind of want to talk about is that in the Android Pie system, so not 9.0 Android Pie, but in the Pie system, Ice Cream Sandwich is riding into its sunset. So it looks like that when you look at the Android pie chart to see how many devices on Android that are activated, how many of them are running, not pie, but Ice Cream Sandwich. Ice Cream Sandwich is running into the sunset, as I stated. But yeah, there's not a lot of devices running Ice Cream Sandwich anymore. So ICS is basically phasing out as more devices being released, more people upgrading to their Android devices. They're either running, on Lollipop, Marshmallow, Nougat, and Oreo. Still, no rise, no spike in the number for 9.0 Pi, and that's not looking pretty good on Google's part. So, we should start seeing devices released with 9.0 here, especially, usually around this time is when it starts to happen. And then we'll start seeing a rise in the numbers of 9.0, especially coming close to, 2019, towards the middle of 2019, we have Google I/O, and obviously we're going to start seeing a lot of the next variation of Android start to become beta for the Pixel devices and maybe the Essential phone. So, farewell, Ice Cream Sandwich. You were delicious. Now we're looking into what's happening down the line. So, other source and topics. I did a quick little video from my Chromebook last night on YouTube, basically discussing that Google wanting to close out certain messaging applications, and then them wanting to open up Hangouts Chat, Hangouts Meet. And I just think that Google really should just pay attention to its consumers. The reason why when they make all these applications, why people don't gravitate towards them automatically and start using them is because, one, there are too many apps that do the same thing. So obviously, why sign up for another service when the service that I'm using already currently works? What I mean by that is that why would anyone want to start up, link their account, their Google account to Allo Chat when they already have Hangouts? Doesn't make sense to make another chat option from Google when you already have something that's currently working. So that's one reason. The other reason why is because Google is notorious and known to do this all the time, and people just get agitated about it. Like, they don't want to start up using a particular service, say like Allo. Like, how many people right now that actually used Allo when they first unveiled it at Google I/O are probably upset that it's shutting down, and it's like, okay, now I have to find something else that's like it that I could use. And so people don't like to have to always keep looking for something new. Like Google Plus is supposed to shut down August 9th, 2019, and people on Google Plus are like, where am I going to go? I've used Google Plus as my social media. Now I got to find something else that's equivalent, because they're not just going to go, okay, I'm going to go to Facebook. And that's not how it works. Some people are like, they were on Google Plus basically not to be on Facebook. So they're not going to go to Facebook. They're going to have to try and find something that's very similar. So hopefully Google pulls their head out of their rear end. They don't get rid of Google Plus, but they also need to pull their head out of the clouds and stop making different application services for Android and Chrome OS that do the same thing. So if they're wanting to please customers, please their user base, pick one of the messaging apps and focus on it. Now, Google Duo, which I'm going to step into here in a little bit, Google Duo is really, really good. I mean, when they first pitched Google Duo and they said that it would work even if you had like low signal on your phone, they weren't lying. You know, I can have 1 or 2 bars and still have a video call that's clear to see, and the audio is clear as a bell. But yeah, some people, they like Hangouts. I don't blame them. Me personally, I just feel like that, you know, Android messages is where it's at. That's where a lot of people wanted the messaging services to go to, was Android messages. They liked the way that Android messages functioned as an SMS chat application. And so I think they should really invest their time into it and really just kind of put more effort into developing Android messages, and don't try to like shove it down people's throats right away. Like, I think that was the biggest mistake they did with Hangouts, was like, they were like, okay, Hangouts could be a chat. It could be your native SMS application if you turn that feature on. It can also work with Google Voice, which confused a lot of people, because people were like, okay, how do I tell the difference between a carrier text message and a Google Voice text message? Even though, like, you know, me and you know, you being tech savvy would know the difference. You would know that the gray bubble that says SMS is a carrier text. A blue bubble that says SMS was Google Voice, and then a regular message with no bubble on it was a Hangouts chat. Like, we knew that, but the average consumer didn't. And so it was too much rush, especially when they went all in and they were like, okay, the native Android SMS app is going to be gone. Hangouts is going to be the default. If you didn't like it, you had to download a third-party SMS. A lot of people didn't like that being shoved down their throats, and I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that they did with Hangouts. So I feel like with Android messages, you know, obviously it supports carrier SMS because it is the native SMS application. If you want to enable Google Voice messages, slowly implement that, I would say. Slowly implement that in. Or just leave Google Voice as its separate application and do not tie it in to Android messages. But for the chat options, like what Allo had, that they're currently moving into Android messages, that's fine. Because obviously we know what they're trying to do. They're trying to build a very like messaging system that's similar to what iOS has with iMessages and FaceTime. You hear a lot of people say that Duo is the clone of FaceTime. And let me tell people that right now, straight up, it's not a clone of FaceTime. It is a voice or video messaging, video calling service for Android users, because Android users really didn't have one dedicated to them. They had different ones like Facebook video calling. What's the other ones? There's several other applications that you could use for video calling, but there was never one that was like, you know, native dedicated to Android. And so we now have one. It's called Duo. But yeah, just to kind of say this, Android messages can be much more, but do not try to overthink it, Google. Keep it simple. Carrier SMS, chat. Leave it at that. And just develop on it slowly. There's no reason to open up Hangouts Chat, which is enterprise on G Suites, and Hangouts Meet, because those two apps, they're not like the original Hangouts. They are meant for businesses. However, Google stated they are going to open those two applications up for non-corporate users. That's a big, huge mistake, Google. Don't do anything idiotic like that. Just leave it as it is. If you're going to close out Hangouts, you're going to close out Allo, focus on Android messages. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Now, Google Duo has been out for some time right now, and it's a wonderful video calling application for Android users that I can tell you guys, like I said earlier, if you have low signal, it still works. So unlike Hangouts, like if you guys remember with Hangouts, because Hangouts was an all-in-one messenger, it has the ability to video call somebody on Hangouts. But when you did that, whether you were on Wi-Fi or you were on your cellular data, the connection always seemed to buffer, and you know the image always went pixelated. Like It just was a very bad experience, which is probably one of the other reasons of the downfall of Hangouts. Now, Google has corrected that with Duo, and Duo is just simple, real easy to use. If your contacts have Duo, which most Android devices now ship with Duo as a system application that's already installed, you can video call that person. You can it's interconnected with the contacts. So if you go into your contacts, you see where it says call, text message. You'll see the Duo video calling button that allows you to start a video call, or you can launch the Duo application and do it from in there. So they really got something here with Duo, and Duo seems to work really well. And I know that they're going to be bringing like group video messaging to Duo, so you can send out a recorded video message to multiple contacts. One of the biggest things that I'm still waiting on is group video calling. That's something that really needs to be implemented in Duo, but I don't want to rush Google. I don't want to rush them, because when you rush Google, you end up with crap. And I would really like Google to really implement this feature and have it functioning and working without hiccups or bugs. That's going to make for a great experience. Because I would love to video call my family members. I would love to be able to talk with my sister who's in Hawaii and my dad who is in the U.S. I would love to talk to them at the same time, have a group, especially around right now, Christmas time, you want to be able to get the family together. I would really love for that to happen. So with group video calling on Duo, when they release that, that's going to be absolutely wonderful. But the service itself works great. I love the the knock, they call it knock feature or knock on feature, whatever. Basically is that if like I was to video call you on Duo and your phone was to ring to let you know you had a video call coming in, you could see me before answering it. So you can see if I'm with somebody or if I'm by myself. So if you're like, now's not a good time, you can reject the call. But if you're like, okay, say I'm by myself, I'm going to be able to actually pay attention in the video call, you can answer it. So I love that feature. That's a really cool feature. And then also, if you don't reach the person, like if the person declines or they're busy, they don't answer the video call, you can leave a video voice message type thing. So you can leave basically a video message for them to say, hey, I'm trying to call you, call me back, I want to show you this, where I'm at, blah blah blah. Yeah, which is one thing too, because like I know like cell phones, you can make phone calls, and I'm really starting to notice that like even though video calling is present, not a lot of people on Android use video calling. I know that people with iOS and iPhones, they do it. FaceTime, obviously, so they're always on FaceTime. But the craziest thing is to see in chat forums, people are like, we want that capability, we want to be able to do that, and then you have Duo and they don't really even do it. So if you're ever curious about what the experience is like for Duo, give it a shot, try it out, see if it works great for you. And believe me, it works great, but find out for yourself. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for today's podcast. If you guys like the topics that I discussed, feel free to subscribe and catch all the latest podcasts, and also, just audio stories that I tend to put out. If you guys found me on Google Podcasts, thank you so much for finding me on that source. And if you guys want to see some videos I do on YouTube, you guys can go to as well, youtube.com/Tito Escobar, and you guys can find me on there, see my catalog of videos. But again, happy Aloha Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, you guys will hear me in the next one. Aloha.